Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, students? I hope all of you people will be fine and enjoying the good health. We are discussing about chapter number 1, that is Introduction to Biology. It's the last lecture of this chapter, that is lecture number 10, and the topic that we are going to discuss is cellular organization. Cellular is derived from the cell. And what is cell? Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. It's the unit from where the life is going to be start. And organization means to organize in order. So which thing is going to be organized? Cells are organized. And what will happen when cells are organized? Then when cells are organized, they form the organisms. Do you know that, students? Organisms are divided into how many groups? Organisms are divided into 5 major groups. The first one is prokaryotes like bacteria, then protists like amoeba, fungi like mushroom, plants like mustard plant, and then animals like human beings and frog. All these are the 5 major groups in which organisms are divided. Do you know that, students? How many basic type of cells are there? There are 2 basic type of cells. The first one is prokaryotic cell and the second one is eukaryotic cell. What is prokaryotic cell? Prokaryotic cell is the cell that do not have prominent nucleus. Why they don't have prominent nucleus? Because their nucleus is not bounded by nuclear envelope. For example, bacteria. And what is eukaryotic cell? Eukaryotic cell is the cell that have prominent nucleus. Why they have prominent nucleus? Because their nucleus is bounded by nuclear envelope. For example, animal cell. These two are the basic type of cell. The next is cellular organization. In cellular organization, we will discuss that how cells are organized. Do you know that, student? Cells are organized into how many ways? Cells are organized into 3 ways. How many ways? 3 ways. The first one is unicellular organization. In unicellular organization, which organisms are going to be formed? Unicellular organisms are formed. And then colonial type organization. In colonial type organization, which organisms are going to form? Colonial type organisms. And then multicellular organization. In multicellular organization, which organisms are going to form? Multicellular organisms. Now we discuss all these 3 types of cellular organization. But before going to discuss this, students, do you know that why cells are organized? Cells are organized to make the organisms. The first organization is unicellular organization. Uni means single and cellular is from cell. So, what is unicellular organization? In unicellular organization, only one cell make the life of organisms. Only one cell make the life of organisms. For example, amoeba, paramecium and euglena. All these are the example of unicellular organization. They are made up of only one cell and the life activities are carried out by only one cell. The next is colonial type organization. What is colonial type organization? In colonial type organization, many unicellular organisms that are made up of only one cell live together. And then what will happen? But they don't have division of labor among them. What does division of labor among them means? That every cell is independent and do not depend on each other for their vital requirement of life. So every cell is independent. In this way we say that they don't have division of labor among them, but they live together and form the colonies. For example, Volvox colony. What is Volvox? Volvox is the green alga that live in the form of colony. Every cell is independent, but they live together in the form of colonies. The next is multicellular organization. Multi mean many and cellular is from cell. So multicellular is made up of many cell. What is multicellular organization? In multicellular organization, cells are organized into which thing? They are organized into tissues that are group of the cells, and then organs. When tissues are combined, they form the organs, and then organ systems. When different organs are combined, they form the organ system. So in multicellular organization, cells are organized into tissues, tissues are organized into organs, and organs are organized into organ system. For example, mustard plant, example of multicellular organization, and then frog. Frog is also example of multicellular organization. Now we'll discuss these two examples one by one. Mustard plant. The mustard plant, the scientific name of mustard plant is Brassica campestris. Now students, this plant is sown in which season? It is sown in winter season and it produces seed. When it produces seed at the end of winter season. Do you know that students? The body of a mustard plant is used as vegetable. We use plant body of mustard plant as vegetable, and the seeds that are produced by mustard plants are used and to extract the oil. Okay. The next is plant body. A plant body of mustard plant is divided into two groups. How we can divide the plant body of mustard plant? We can divide the plant body of mustard plants on the base of their functioning. The first is vegetative organ and the second is reproductive organ. What is vegetative organ? Vegetative organ are the organs that do not take part in sexual reproduction. Now what is sexual reproduction? In sexual reproduction, two different parents are involved and they produce the offspring. Root, stem and leaves are the vegetative organs. These are the roots, this is the stem and these are the leaves that are known as vegetative organ. Why they are known as vegetative organ? Because they do not take part in sexual reproduction. The next one is reproductive organ. What are reproductive organ? Reproductive organ are the organ that take part in sexual reproduction. And what is sexual reproduction? In sexual reproduction, two different parents are involved. And what is the reproductive organ of mustard plant? The reproductive organ of mustard plant is flower. Why it is called reproductive organ? Because sexual reproduction takes place in the flower. Now students, frog. What is the scientific name of frog? The scientific name of frog is Rana tigrina. Do you know that students? The body composition of frog. The body composition of frog is that it is made up of organ and organ system. And organs are further made up of specific tissue that are performing specific function. For example, epithelial tissue. These are present under the skin and the main purpose of these tissues are that they are involved in protection. Then glandular tissues. Glandular tissues are also present under the skin and they are involved in the secretions of chemicals. Then muscular tissues. These are the type of tissues that are involved in movement. And then nervous tissue. Nervous tissues are the type of tissues that are present in frog and they are mainly involved in coordination and they conduct the message throughout the body of frog. Thank you so much students. Allah Hafiz. Take care.